What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another video. Today we are doing a mid-drop fade with the texture top on top, and we're also going to be cleaning up his beard. Hey man, and shout out to my client. He's a family member of mine, and I really appreciate him for coming through and allowing me to do this video for you guys. But getting started with the haircut, of course, I will be working on the top first. So right here, I'm just saturating my client's hair with water. And right here, I'm grabbing the very front of his hair, and that's gonna be my guideline for the entire top. Once I figure out exactly how much I wanna cut, I'm gonna slowly start working my way back and follow that first initial guideline all the way to the back. And when I'm doing this, I'm really trying not to skip too far ahead. I'm really trying to grab every single section. That way everything is as even as possible. So now that the middle is pretty much done, I'm gonna start to work my way over to the left side, and I'm just gonna be matching what I did in the middle all the way to the left. Now here I'm going to slowly start to work my way to the front, starting off in the back, grabbing little sections and just doing some point cutting just to apply some texture. So here I'm going to be sectioning off the top of his hair, starting off in the corner of his lineup and making a diagonal line to the middle of the top of his head. This is just to really avoid cutting any of the length that I have right there in the front, because I definitely want to leave that area long, but I also want to really blend in the side to the top. Now for this haircut, I will be using my Stylecraft Rebels, and this clipper has really became my favorite clipper. I believe it's better than the Magic Clips, and for a lot of you guys that have seen previous videos or just been a subscriber for a long time, you guys know I swear by the Magic Clips, but I could honestly tell you guys that this is a better clipper just because it's a lot stronger, it cuts a lot smoother, and it just lasts so long. And you honestly only need one clipper. Usually I carry at least 2 wireless clippers, but with that one, as soon as I'm done cutting hair for lunch, I usually just plug it back in, and then once I return from lunch, I continue to use the same clipper, and it lasts me literally all day. But once I remove the bulk with the 1.5, now I'm switching over to my Babyliss trimmers, and you guys are going to notice that I use 2 trimmers, and that's because one is strictly just for trimming the hair, and the other one is strictly just for lining up. Now this isn't necessary, but I definitely like to have my liners as sharp as possible, and that isn't always the most comfortable choice to really trim my client's hair. And anytime I'm trimming any type of hair, I always want to be as neat as possible, making sure that I'm not leaving any stragglers around, just because like in the end, like it's just gonna cause a lot more work for you, and it's a lot better to be more neat. So for the shavers, I'm using my Endis Pro-Foil shaver, and this is basically just to bald out the stubble hair that he has right there on the side. So now switching back over to my Stylecraft clippers, using the lever all the way open, I'm gonna go ahead and create my first guideline by going up about 1/2 inch. And for my guidelines, I'm gonna be keeping them kind of compact just because I really don't have that much room to work with. You guys can see where I left my 1.5 guard set to, and that's really where I want to finish off the blend. So I really want to be conservative on where I leave my guidelines. So here I'm closing my lever all the way, and I'm gonna start to work out the bottom line, flicking up about 1/4 of an inch, just to really start the process of blending out the bottom line. Now here I'm opening the lever to the halfway position, and then once again just flicking up about 1/4 of an inch, just making sure that I'm not going all the way up to where I have left the guide with the all the way open position, because if I do, I'm pretty much just creating a new line, which I do not want to do that. And for this clipper, I did modify it a little bit. I mean, all I really did was just zero gap it, and I also took off that clicker lever on the side because I find that really annoying, and I just find it a lot better without the little clicker. But that's just my opinion. If you guys like the clicker, you guys could always leave it. It's still gonna be a great clipper. I just personally do not like it. Alright you guys, so now here I have my half guard attached to my clipper with the lever all the way open, and I'm gonna go ahead and create my next guideline by going up about 1/2 inch again. And I'm really focusing on seeing the two specific lines. That way it tells me exactly how much room I have to work with, and it tells me that I am going high enough just because I can see two specific lines. So now here I'm gonna start to down fade, closing the lever to the halfway position, starting off from the top to the bottom, but just making sure that I'm staying underneath the very top line, because I definitely do not want to raise the line anymore. I just want to start to slowly lighten up the bottom line. Now here I'm going in with the lever all the way closed and just using the corners just to do a lot of detail work. He has a lot of different color hair right here on the side, so it's really going to be using the corners and just doing real detail work to really just blend everything in together. So I noticed that the half guard wasn't fully removing the bottom line, so I took the guard off, and then I'm just playing with the lever, doing everything I can just to completely blend it out before I move on to the next step. So now moving on to the next step, I have my number 1 guard attached to the clipper with the lever all the way open, and I'm gonna create my new guideline going up about another 1/2 inch. They're all pretty much gonna be 1/2 inch every time I create a new guide, just because that's how much room I had to work with. So here I'm making sure that I'm staying underneath the 1.5 guard that I had used in the previous step. So now here, going in with the lever all the way closed, and once again just using the corners, just really doing the detail work, trying to touch up any of the dark spots that I see, and that's really gonna just blend everything in and make everything look complete as far as the fade goes. now I'm switching over to my clipper over comb, and I'm just grabbing the side of the hair, and I want to maintain that shape throughout the side of the head. Like I want it to go completely up, right? So I'm gonna be grabbing as much hair as I can and then just kind of flaring out in a way. And I'm using the clipper at the lever all the way open position just to give me that little bit of playroom, and I find that it blends best to the 1.5 guard all the way open. And another trick I do when I'm doing any type of clipper over comb is I like to stop and kind of stand in front of my client and look on the side of his head, and if I see any type of hair sticking out on the side, that tells me that there's a line there, and I like to go over there and kind of work that line out, and it blends out really nice. So here, using my 1 guard attached to my clipper with the lever all the way open, I'm just flicking out those dark spots that I see right there that the clipper over comb couldn't blend in. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna clean it all the way right up. So now to finish off the blend from the side to the top, I'm gonna be using my shears. You see that horn right there on the side? You definitely want to blend that in. Just try to round it out as much as you can. That's gonna make everything come together and kind of flow in the best way. So now I'm using some hair serum on the top of his hair just to avoid the frizziness that is going to come with it once I blow dry. So now using my Dyson and making sure I'm using a brush. I usually don't use a brush for these textured tops, but his hair is kind of curly in a way and wavy that I do need some type of brush just to kind of straighten it out a little bit, just to kind of give it that straight textured look. But working on the beard is going to be pretty much the exact same steps, just flipping it upside down to blend it in.
JP on the beat.
I like using this pen on the beard just because as far as like an enhancement goes, it makes it look a lot more natural than if I was to go in with paint. Because once I go in and brush it in, it really looks really natural, and I feel like the clients could buy something like this and do it themselves at the house, just like if they're going out on a date or something like that. Just throw that thing on, and once again, it looks like their beard is fresh. Now for his lineup, I'm not going to go too crazy in. I'm not going to be throwing any type of enhancements because he does like it more of a natural look. So I'm just basically just going to clean up the edges and just sharpen it up a little bit. But But to finish off the styling part of his hair, I am going to be using the styling powder on the top of his hair just to give it that textured look and just that hold that I want, but making it look natural. Now with this, a little goes a long way. You don't really need too much, just put a little bit and make sure that you get it into the roots. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. At the end, I'm gonna show you guys how he came in, just so you could really see the difference in the haircut. So once again, this is how he came in. As you guys can see, he did drastically need that transformation. And once again, this is the after. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did, feel free to smash that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to leave your guys' comments in the comment section down below. I do read all of them. I do not get back to each and every one of you guys. I try to, but once again, just leave your feedbacks in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for staying tuned, staying all the way to the end. And once again, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.